Good evening, guys. And tonight's video is coming from down around the Richmond Rosenberg area. This was filmed by a ex-sheriff's deputy and ex-highway patrolman that lives down that way and was nice enough to provide it to me. This is outside of the Harris County perimeter or boundaries. This gentleman you see here on the motorcycle, on the other hand, is a Harris County Sheriff's deputy. He's on a motorcycle. He has, I don't know if you can see it here or not, but you cannot see, or there is not, as I understand it, there was not a license plate visible. Let's see what this Harris County deputy, who is outside his county, is doing.
Just tell me how fast you're going.
90.
Okay, the guy in the truck is doing right around between 85 and 90 miles an hour. I interviewed him. He's doing between 85 and 90 miles an hour trying to keep up with this motorcycle officer.
He's well at 100.
He's saying that the deputy on the motorcycle is up around triple digits, somewhere close to or right at 100 miles an hour on this motorcycle.
We're not have a conversation.
He is attempting to catch him, pull him over.
But my camera makes it look like his lights are on, but they're not on.
Okay, so in this area around here, what the cops do is, they're running down the highway at high speeds. They put these little blue marker lights on the back of their motorcycles so that if they go zipping by somebody, and they use these motorcycles when they're off duty as well. So if they go zipping by a police officer and that police officer sees these little blue flashing lights, he knows it's a cop and he doesn't bother to pull them over or harass them. But those are not emergency lights. They are not emergency lights. This guy is not on an emergency call.
It's 55 and a 90. He's at about 105. No turn signal.
Okay, he was when they first caught him at those speeds. Now, obviously, he's gotten up here in traffic and he's fallen off some. But speed limit 65. Everybody around there is probably doing around 65. Now watch how he starts zipping in and out of traffic and stuff here.
No
Right
turn
in here.
signals again.
Right in here, he's probably doing around 75.
Oh my goodness. Okay, we can't show people that we're. No, 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 no.
All right, let's go to the other video that I've got here. They finally managed to catch up with this nice officer. Now, I want you to remember, the #1 killer of police officers are police officers. Traffic accidents and such. Look at this guy. No blinkers. He's just zipping around.
You're stepping on it so hard.
Again, he is not in his jurisdiction. There is no emergency. He's just trying to, he's off duty. He's trying to get home. And I'm going to tell you some really disturbing facts about this deputy here in a minute.
15 violations of just not even using his turn signal.
Now, any of you that ride motorcycles, and probably a lot of you that don't, are aware that if you're riding a motorcycle, you are very vulnerable in a traffic accident. Even a minor collision can be extremely injurious to your body. Beyond that, even a minor collision can be deadly. I mean, you can catch a mirror through the heart. Any number of things can go wrong. So people on motorcycles, smart people on motorcycles, tend to be extra cautious. Now, I don't ride motorcycles anymore. I gave them up around, I don't know, 2008, 2009. But when I rode, I stayed away from people. I mean, I was paranoid about accidents, having been in a few. And I can tell you that even a minor fender bender can be very, very bad for a motorcycle rider.
You're getting really close.
He's gonna lose me here. Got him?
Notice no license plate on the motorcycle.
No plate number. Where's his plate at?
You have to make sure that you have a feasible argument.
I don't see his license plate.
Is he supposed to have one? Are you sure?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
I'll answer that question. Yes. Even county or state issued vehicles must have license plates.
Maybe Harris County is different than Fort Bend.
It's Texas state law, dude.
There's a reason why he knows.
All right, video ends there, and that is all we have for video. But what we do also have is these folks they managed to talk to him. I encouraged them to obtain for themselves some dash cameras and whatnot. Let me see if I can focus this camera for you guys. I may have to get a better camera. Turns out this deputy was recently in a traffic accident and is recovering from that traffic accident. And here he is out on the highway driving like a fool. This is more Harris County deputies shenanigans. I am doing public records requests to determine the deputy's name. They got his name, but it was they didn't write it down, so they're not sure that we got the correct name. But his excuse for what he was doing, his excuse for speeding, was he was hurrying home from work. Wish I could hurry home from work at 100 miles an hour. Man, that'd make my life a lot easier, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it make yours a lot easier? All right, guys, that's it. When I become aware of this deputy's name, and I am forwarding these videos on to the Harris County Sheriff's Department, who's already going to see it when they see this video when it's posted. But we will know who that deputy is, and we're going to educate him about the Under 100 initiative. For those that, you know, the number one killer of police officers isn't scumbags. It's not convicted felons. It's not bank robbers. Number one killer of cops in North America is cops. That deputy you just saw there is a potential cop killer. Yep. That's it, guys. Y'all have a good night and be safe.